Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kurt. Welcome back to Farlands or Bust, episode 607. Episode 607, a very enthusiastic woof from Wolfie here, starting off the episode for your Friday, September 16th, 2016, as we continue west with Wolfie to those far lands here in Minecraft Beta 1.7.3. Raising money for Child's Play charity along the way, of course. Currently at $40,446.30 raised here in Season 5 of the series. Season 5 started, this tally raise started last August. Not last August, the August before this one. August 2015, so a little bit over a year. In a little bit over a year, we've raised $40,446, and we're trying to raise $60,000 here for Season 6. So keep going to farlandsorbust.com to donate. That helps get toys, books, games to kids in hospitals around the world, and as well as shows your support for quirky little YouTube gaming series like Farlands or Bust. Oh, man. Yeah, that's what it does too, and I appreciate all the continued support. Speaking of where Season 6 started in a place exactly like this. The last F3 monument was in a crater, and it had a big spire out of it that I brought and I built, and then Wolfie fell in that spire. You noodle. Boop. All right, continuing on. So that was a little bit reminiscent, was it not? But that was a long time ago, and we haven't pressed F3 since. And we won't press F3 until we raise that until we raise that $60,000 and make another such monument at the next point at which we press F3. Of course, F3, for those uninitiated, when you press F3 in this game, it gives you a little heads-up display that shows you the coordinates of where you're currently at in the world, and those coordinates are important because we are on our way to try to reach 12,500 and something 1,820 blocks from spawn, because that's where the far lands begin. That is the threshold to the far lands. And at last count, we were just over 2 million. 2 million of the blocks from the center. So we got quite a ways to go. So what will be the next number? Only you can prevent forest fire. No, only you can donate to Child's Play charity at farlandsorbust.com. Go ahead. Go ahead and keep doing that if you will, and that would be much appreciated. Any and every amount counts. And if you can't donate, that's fine too. I don't want to pressure anybody. I don't want people to feel like because they're not donating that they're not part of the community. But it's just a thing I attached 5 years ago to the series to make it more than just about walking in one direction in this game. Needed to add a little bit of spice to that meatball. So that's why we're raising money for charity. And I can give a little bit of a quasi-teaser at the beginning of next month. The very beginning of next month, I may have some interesting news just about something I'm participating in. But I want to make sure it's concrete before I do such grand announcements. Very interesting. Could be very interesting for myself, but also for the Farlands or Bust, the gaming charities, and all that fun stuff. But I'll let you know. I'll certainly let you know. Indeed. But of course, in a couple weeks, in 1 week, in like 8 days, 7 days, in a week from when this episode's going up on Friday is when Minecon is going on in Anaheim, and I am, of course, going there with the Mindcrack group. We've got a couple panels, one of which is, the schedule just got published, but one of the panels on Saturday is charity. I forgot the name of it. I don't know that we picked the name. I think they picked the name. It's Mindcrack Gaming for Charity or something like that, where I, as well as other Mindcrack members, are going to be talking about charity efforts using the game of Minecraft. I will, of course, be referring to my experience with Farlands or Bust, but then others will be talking about experience, say, with the Mindcrack marathons we've held. Those are always pretty impressive undertakings, so we'll have a little bit of a panel there, and then there's actually going to be a normal Mindcrack panel. I'm not sure how it's going to all split up. We might just split up and like have two separate panels, or we might pop into each one. I don't know. It's all up in the air. It's all up in the air indeed. So we'll get to that, and I'm looking forward to if anybody else in the viewership is going to attend Minecon. I look forward to meeting you there, and of course hanging out with a bunch of the other Mindcrack group and other people we've come to know. We've come to know in this wacky little YouTube community here that we've found ourselves in. Oh, you gotta calm your noodles. Calm your noodles there, Wolfie. Calm your noodles. Will ya? Boop. How about one more? I ate that. I ate that. Mmm. Yummy. All right. Oh, did I get Wolfie? Yeah, I did. All right, watch your step. Well, that's a tube of death. Avoid the tube, Wolfie. Good gravy. What are you? Did I just not tell you to cool your noodles? Cool your noodles. So yeah, that's happening. That is happening indeed. So yeah, looking forward to that, I suppose. Looking forward to that. But we are carrying on indeed. Carrying onward and upward. I've also been doing a little bit more live streaming on the Twitch channel. I wanted to get to live streaming today. I'm recording this on Thursday. Is it Thursday or is it Wednesday? What is today? What is the date today? I've lost my mind. Today is Thursday. I'm recording this on a Thursday. But yeah, I wanted to stream today, but my brain didn't allow it, so trying to get back up to speed here in this last week. I mean, I suppose I shouldn't put too much pressure on myself. I'm going to be like, work, and you're going to be gone for a week. So that all that momentum that you've worked so hard to build up on is for naught. So I don't know. We'll figure it out, and I appreciate everybody's continued support, like I said, and patience, donations, Child's Play charity, subscribing to the YouTube channel, watching the videos, checking out live streams if you can. Much appreciated. Much appreciated indeed. I do have a... what am I saying? Yeah, yeah, let me just say this right now. I never push merchandise. I have a Farlands or Busts. I've had a Farlands or Busts store for quite a while over on Spreadshirt. That still exists right now, but I am slowly transferring to another service called TeePublic. T-E-E Public. That's actually also where Vintage Beef has a storefront. But TeePublic, actually right now, I got a store with them, I talked to them, I got the whole thing set up with them, but I'd never had a chance to actually bring my designs from Spreadshirt to this TeePublic store. And I suddenly started to, because they're actually holding a site-wide sale where all their t-shirts are $14, which not too shabby. So I've at least uploaded the Careful Wolfie and the Floating Block of Ice designs, which when you look at them, I'll put the link in the video description to the storefront. And if you check it out throughout the weekend, there perhaps might be more designs that I bring over from the Spreadshirt shop. But yeah, if you click on the designs, then you can either get, there's a whole bunch of shirts and hoodies. It's a lot more convenient, I've felt so far anyway, as compared to my experience with Spreadshirt, in that I just have to upload a design, and then they apply it to whatever products are available, and that it fits, and I can do little tweaks to make sure they're not you know, to make sure everything's centered and everything, as opposed to Spreadshirt like, oh, you want to make a t-shirt? Okay, you've made a t-shirt. Now you have to do the whole process over again for a sweatshirt. Okay, you've made a sweatshirt. A women's t-shirt. Okay, a whole new product. So this is a little bit more convenient on my side. But then it's also, like I said, if you are a fan of vintage beef, all his shirts and stuff is on sale, $14 per a pop for the t-shirts and other discounts on other things. I just, you know, I don't push the merchandise at all, but I figured if you want to check it out, obviously if you're going to go to Minecon, I don't believe it's still print on demand. I don't think you're going to get these items before Minecon, but it's nice and convenient. I just want to let you know, in case you're waiting for a sale to get a Far Lands Bust or a floating block of ice shirt or mug or whatever, that this sale is going on that could benefit you. And I'm trying to get more stuff up there so you guys can have it at this lower, super duper lower price. So yeah, link in the video description. I'll put it right there on the top, so you can check it out, and I'll tweet it out and stuff like that. But let's go to sleep. Enough of these store shenanigans. Let's go to sleep and continue in the morning. And merchandise-ness. I'll be alright. I was gonna say, I should, like, next time I plunk down a workbench to make a boat, I'll make a loaf of bread, get my health up to 100, also make a new shovel. That should cover us for a while. But I've actually got a question here from somebody who might not even be watching anymore. But they asked it in the video comments. It was a good question I felt was good from the video comments. Carrie asked, are there any behaviors in people that drive you absolutely bananas? For example, I can't stand it when people stop to talk on stairwells, blocking the way for others. Another is when people try to enter an elevator before allowing those already on board to get out. Any thoughts, ideas on this? Well, if we're talking little, it sounds like we're talking little minor annoyances, not like huge things like being a jerk or being totally racist or, you know, so like huge character flaws. We're talking about like little everyday interactions with people. Yeah, I mean, all throughout, I don't get out that much anymore, but all throughout, like, I could probably swim this in the time it's going to take me to make a boat, so we'll do that later. All throughout, like, high school and school in general, people who just stop in the middle of the hallway to talk. Or another thing, here's the thing, it's like a weird human behavioral study thing. You have, like, doors, like regular doors, not revolving doors, but, like, doors. Say there's, like, a series of 8 doors to exit or enter a building. For whatever reason, all the doors are open, by the way, and unlocked. All the people file through one set of doors just because those are the doors that people are already opening and going through, you know? And I'm like, these other doors, that's why they invented other doors, as opposed to just one door for people to enter and exit all at the same time in single file row. That's kind of a weird, like there's got to be like a crowd control study of why people choose to funnel, flaming something over there, funnel through one door as opposed to the available 8 or whatever are available. There's got to be some sort of sociology study has had a thesis has to be written about that, right? That's a little bit annoying. I mean, and there's a whole bunch of little things on like the micro scale that I could think about. Chewing. Loud chewing. No chewing, just swallow your food whole. But that's kind of just an icky annoyance. Not so much, I mean, talking with food in your mouth is certainly an annoyance, but not so much that as much as it is just loud chewing. Chewing with your mouth open. Or breathing audibly whilst... Oops, sorry, sheep. Well, you're dead now, I think, because here comes Wolfie. Oh, we're not. He's forgotten about you. You've been spared this day, sheep friend. You've been spared. Ooh, I don't know what made me think I was going to make that little shimmy through there, but I'm not a smart man. There we go. Some interesting terrain we're within. Annoyances. I mean, and I could come up with like a million annoyances driving in the car and other people driving. So yeah, your examples sound a little bit like in crowds or in public, so I'll stick with those. Like I said. Certainly doorways and things. As I'm sure I'm guilty of such things as well, even. Well, actually, well, you know, I mean, even I'm kind of super anxious about that stuff. So, like, say if at like PAX or something, if like a friend, or at like the airport or something, if a friend, like, I meet a friend or stop to see a friend and like they stop and we start having a conversation in the middle of the hall, that will get me super anxious. Like, I want to get out of the way. I'm like, this isn't ideal. I mean, even if we're not a bother, just the anticipation that I could be a bother really gets me anxious. And I apologize to any friends. I'm getting all choked up about it. To any friends or people I've talked to where perhaps I've not been as attentive to the conversation because I'm freaking out in my head that we're in the middle of the lane and this is wrong and we're annoying these people or we're in these people's ways, or, you know, that like really is a big it's like sticking point in my brain, I guess you could call it. But yeah, I thought that was kind of an interesting question. We had a similar question from a donor a couple months ago or last month but more about like appearance, like what people wear or fashions or something like that. I try not, anyway. I try not to be specifically a judgy person, but you really can't help things that are annoyances or inconveniences or whatever. At stores, I've come up with plenty of things at stores, certainly from somebody who has worked retail. I'm sure anybody who works retail can come up with a million things that customers do. And you can certainly tell certain customers who've never worked retail before don't quite know the experience. So they might have be a little bit more free with their jerkitude, I suppose. But I don't know why, but this branch just felt right to take. I took it, so I took it. It's mine now. Your branch is mine. I accidentally went to Walmart a little bit ago just to get a few items, which I've since just decided never to go to Walmart again. I would always go because the excuse is like, oh, it's cheaper for like these things, but I don't want to go to Walmart anymore. I'll go to Target. Sponsor, hopefully. No, nothing. Okay. But I like people who price match. I got stuck behind somebody in the lane who like price matched her entire cart. Which, like, okay, if they offer that service, great. But like the entire cart, she had like all these notes written out about all these price matches, and I could tell even like the clerk. Certainly, it wasn't the first time the clerk dealt with this, but the clerk was like, all right, literally an entire like letter-sized college-ruled notepad of all the price things, and then she had all the ads for proof. If you're gonna do, like, I can see one or two high-ticket items or whatever, but if you're gonna price match your entire shopping cart, why not just have gone to the store that has all these better prices? You know? Oh man. But anyway, let's stop talking about the negatives and let's move on to the positives, such as this question from donor Cataract. That is a crazy name, and I'm pretty sure I even said it wrong. Catbat Carac. Sure, that one. Asks, I know you're a big fan of space and the night sky, so my question for you is, what is your favorite constellation? The default, and the one I'm probably just going to answer, because it's an easy answer, is going to be Orion. Firstly, because it's very impressive to see in the night sky just regardless, but it also has a lot of very interesting targets for the optical telescope. Obviously, in Orion's belt, you got the Orion Nebula, which at a very nice dark site, you could see naked eye without a telescope. Careful, Wolfie, whenever you took damage there. With a bigger telescope and a better telescope, or even a telescope optics, camera optics or something, you can find the Horsehead Nebula. And there's even stuff, sure, up around the belt and stuff. There's a lot of nebulae and whatever, because it's located in the band of the Milky Way, so there's always going to be a lot of fun stuff in there. But you've even got clusters and stuff. I had a good fun hunting around Hercules a couple of years ago at the dark site. Hercules has a little bit more difficult to find, but a lot of clusters, star clusters, and a few nebula, I do believe, around Hercules. It was just a little bit more of a challenge to find. Cygnus, surprisingly, is pretty simple because it's directly above, at least in the northern hemisphere, for the majority of the year. And Cygnus has a good double star in there, a really close double star. And then nearby, in other constellations, it's got the Ring Nebula, and then on either side there's the Dumbbell Nebula, which is pretty neat. One of my more favorite targets in the sky. So it's really hard to say. I'm gonna go with Orion just because it's easy. But like, there's so many things. I mean, even the Big Dipper. It's the Big Dipper. Even that one is actually good for. There's a couple galaxies off the handle of the Big Dipper that are really tough to find because they're really big and really opaque, really faint. You need very big telescope and very dark skies to see them. But that was always a challenge to find as well. And it's kind of like, oh, it's the Big Dipper. It's like the first constellation everybody learns, and lo and behold, there's frickin' galaxies you're looking at around it. So that's always fun to do. But yeah, well, I'll go with Orion. If you ever get a chance to, like, there's a composite picture of like all the infrared and really kind of false color telescopic. What's the word I'm looking for? It's a montage of photos of the entire nebula of Orion, and like the whole thing, they really bring out the contrast. Obviously, you'll never be able to see it like this naked eye, but the whole constellation is actually just completely wrapped in all these nebulas and gases and really crazy cool stuff. Like I said, because it is directly in the band of the Milky Way. It's really neat. Indeed, but yeah, let's go to sleep. Speaking of constellations, I don't think we've ever figured out any constellations in Minecraft, but let's go to sleep and continue in the morning. And a spoiderness. Where did you come from, Spoider? Did you come from a Spoider spawner? Yes? No? Oh, hi, Wolfie. God, you scared me. Look over and there's a dog in your face. Oh, no. I thought this would be a spawner or something. Tis not. Tis not. Starman asks, do you have any favorite movie or TV show quotes? Or song quotes? Song quotes are kind of, ooh, hello, Creeper. Songs you don't really get quotes from. Songs you get lyrics from. So I'll stick to your query about movies and TV shows. By the way, when is F1 with Beef coming back? Possibly soon. Not soon, but it's possibly coming back. There's interest from all parties involved. I can say that much. It is just that the fact, like I just said, let's try to get all this work done, and then we all have to go away for a week because there's Minecon going on. So maybe stay tuned after Minecon and TwitchCon into October. It's one of those series that you don't want to start up and then be like, well, we're gone, because it's you know, especially even if we were to just do it weekly like we do previously. But yeah, I'm looking forward to solidifying that as a plan. I can say you can quote me on that. But off the record. Favorite TV movie quote. Oh, I actually just posted one. It's kind of a joke, more like, I could come up with like a million quotes and jokes from Simpsons or Seinfeld or whatever, but one of my favorite Simpsons quotes, exchanges, jokes, was when Homer says to Lisa, "Let that be a lesson to you, sweetie. Never love anything." And Lisa says, "Even you? Especially me." Oh, man. Good times. Good times. But yeah, I mean, that's hard to say. Just quote. Let me think of movies. I suppose the mantra from Shawshank Redemption, "Get busy living or get busy dying." That's a very succinct and easy to comprehend little quote, I suppose, from Shawshank Redemption. Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think. I had another one in my head before I started recording this, and now I forgot what it was. Because I'm a terrible, terrible human being. Let's, like I said I would do previously, let's make this shovel. Replacement shovel, replacement shovel. And let's get our health up to 100, even though we accidentally ate some Wolfie treats. Bloop. Yep, Wolfie agrees. Yeah, I swear I had other ones. But now I can't think of him. Movie quotes. Movie quotes. Why am I blanking out? I had other ones. I do declare that I did. But I can't think of them. I should write these things down on the notepad, but I don't. Yeah. Sorry. Anyway. That was a good question. Perhaps in the comments below. Look at this. Viewer interaction. Let me know what your favorite TV or movie quote is. TV or movie quote. Xavier Penguin, and Penguin, depending on how you'd like to pronounce that word as a person who speaks normal English and is not at all a robot. Xavier Penguin asks, with their donation, "What is your favorite adult beverage?" Shirley Temple. I.e. alcoholic drink. When you did have one. When I did have one. I've only ever had one. Kids, let that be a lesson to you. What is your favorite everyday type of drink? Can that be alcoholic? What is your favorite drink of yours that you would just want to have but can't acquire in your neck of the woods? I live in America. We can acquire anything, including countries. That's sad. Well, I've said this many times before. I'm very boring as far as the food and drink that I imbibe. And normal drink is either going to be coffee, iced tea, sweetened iced tea, or water. That's literally the only thing I drink. I don't drink no sodas. I don't drink no energy drinks. I don't drink no juices. No juices at all. So not a big selection there to choose from. I can acquire all of those fairly readily in my neck of the woods. I mean, I used to drink a lot of sodas. I really liked root beer and cream soda. But I have no desire anymore for those things because it's been well over a decade, perhaps even... No, well, not 2 decades. Well over a decade since I've really had any sort of sugary soda drink or anything like that. But yeah, I'm a boring human being. What is your favorite adult beverage? Probably whiskey. And if I could just, like, say it simply, I do like an old-fashioned. But and I know I've spoken of this before, and perhaps Xavier Penguin is going on the premise that a few hundred episodes ago I said, I think I'll just stop drinking altogether. That didn't work out too well. But I've certainly reduced the amount I've been drinking, and I've come up with a new kind of rule, which is going to sound sad and depressing and really just not positive at all. But I've decided I've decided, and I've broken this rule a couple times, and every time I do, I'm like, that gained me nothing. I've decided that I'm only going to drink alcohol alone. Saying it out loud makes it sound so much worse than it was in my head. Oh, man. Wow. I literally just started to sweat after I said that out loud. I'm like, oh my goodness, people are going to think I'm a sad puppy indeed. But no, it's not out of, I don't know why I want to atop these trees here. It's not like depressing reasons or anything like that. And it's not that I always drink when I'm alone. It's just, I don't want to drink around people anymore. I found this out kind of readily around PAX Boston when I did take a few extra sips of the old booze. I was trying to find a funny word spin on that, but I couldn't. I'm not a good comedian. And and I noticed that instead of, people, oh, I drink because it loosens me up and it makes me more chatty and sociable and jokey and happy and laughy, I just get more and more introverted. I've found. I'm like, this is the opposite of the effects I was looking for. Which, by the way, kids, don't drink to change your personality. That's not a reason to drink. So yeah, I'm like, that's no good. So I decided, maybe I should just not drink. I enjoy a drink, mostly for the flavor, to be honest with you. I don't specifically drink to get smashing drunk or anything like that. I'm not a sophomore in college. Hey, sweeping generalizations. But yeah, I'm like, well, I can't, or I don't want to, or I choose not to drink in social situations. Also, it's dangerous too because you kind of feel obligated to drink in social situations. Again, kids don't drink to fit in or alter your personality or whatever. So I feel like that's a good choice to make. When I'm alone, I can be like, oh, this was a good drink to have. I think I can stop now and go to bed, or whatever. It's there's no pressure to keep it up or to buy another round or this one's on me or whatever. So yeah, I feel like I'm gonna be going with that plan of attack moving forward. It's also a lot cheaper, because if you only decide to drink alone, then you generally do it at home, where it's only like $20 a bottle versus $10 a single drink at a restaurant or a bar or something. So there's an economic facet of that decision as well. But yeah, favorite drink, probably, I haven't, and I don't, just because it's expensive, haven't been doing much of the single malt scotches anymore. I know, gasp in shock and awe. It's been at least a year since I've owned a bottle or even had any. So I'm normally just get rye or bourbon whiskey and make old fashions. Pretty simple to make, not too complicated, and yeah. So that's what I'll say. That is what I'll say about that. And of course, that's also been kind of helped by the fact that I've had to go gluten-free. I used to drink not a lot of beer, but I used to enjoy trying out various beers and brews and craft thingamabobs and hops and skips and jumps and whatever. Come on, Wolfie, up on the platform. I made this platform for you. Up, you dingus. Come on up. There, up. No, you're not allowed in here. There we go. So yeah, it's certainly, I think, been helped by the fact that I can no longer drink beers. I'm alright with, like I said, ciders and stuff are interesting to try, but I don't go out of my way for those at all. It's not quite the same market as the brews, the brewskis. So yeah, thank you very much, Xavier Penguin, for that question, which has outed me as a sorry a sorry sack of drink-alonitude. Oh man, but yeah, this episode took a turn. But no, really, it's fine. It's for the best. That makes it sound worse, Kurt. Stop talking. But yeah, let me actually instead remind everybody to keep going to farlandsorbust.com to donate to Child's Play charity. All those donations go directly to Child's Play charity because that is the Child's Play charity widget that you got right there on the home page for you to click the donate button. You can leave a comment, and in that comment, you can leave a question and your name if you'd like, and I will get to that question in a future episode of Farlands or Bust here. We're getting closer. We're getting closer. I'm hoping for a little bit of a push here running up to Minecon. It'd be nice to have a nice, pleasant number to share with everybody I meet at Minecon about how much money we've raised just this year, let alone overall over $375,000 overall since the beginning of Farlands or Bust. But it'll be nice to move that needle a little bit closer to the goal. That'd be much appreciated. And of course, I very much appreciate your support of this series and my work here, my fellow Farlanders. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Kurt. I will see you next time. Cool your noodles.